For me, I have a different Trevor inside me. For me, Trevor is a great stand-up comedian with fantastic timing. And somebody who just made me laugh a lot when I was in Sherborne. My love of laughter has never ceased, and in fact, it's probably stopped me from properly maturing and growing up as a human being. But there's this lovely story which some of you may remember, but the only time anybody can remember Trevor actually teaching drawing properly with some still life in the art school at Sherborne. And sometimes you come into the art school and you see Trevor was in a sort of serious mood, like he was going to actually teach art. And you sort of think, oh shit, we're not going to have the stand-up comedy routine. We're not going to be able to watch Grease on the telly. We can't just stick on Shock of the New and pick our noses. And he set up this very boring still life, and he made us all sit down, and we had to get the easels out. No one had ever even seen these easels before. Got us all drawing this unbelievably boring thing, and then he grabbed all the pictures. Wow, no, didn't say a word, just grabbed them into a pile, put them down on the desk, and then he got out this stamp. Some of you remember. And he just went. And halfway through, he just looked and said, I always wanted to work at the post office. That whole act was just... So when I went to Sherborne, I mean, I was there in the last year before Trevor, so we had a year without Trevor, and I have no memory of the art school at all. I was into art, but I have no memory. I have a vague memory of mine of an actual still life class where you actually did, have a boring, proper lesson about still life. That's all I can remember. And there was nothing about Sherborne School in that year to indicate that Trevor was about to happen. It was a school that was suspicious of creativity. It was very sport obsessed. There was no suggestion that Trevor was about to turn up. And I first encountered him when I was pushing a ferret cage that I had built in the technical arts lab up Abbey Road. And I, at that age, was a complete moron. And the ferret cage was incredibly badly made. Not only badly made, but it was on the wrong piece of equipment for pushing it up Abbey Road. Everything about it was wrong. And Trevor he knew that I was going to be in his O-level group, and he stopped me and he inspected this ferret cage. And it was a bit like somebody on the Antiques Roadshow inspecting something that somebody was claiming to be like a sort of Chippendale cabinet, but which he knew was actually a Portaloo. But he didn't say anything at all about it. So I just thought, well, that's the end of that. I go to the art school for my first double, that's an hour and a half double art class. And Trevor comes out, and we had this extraordinary thing that in our year it was just me and Spencer Ewan. Spencer. And Jonathan Ward. Are you here, Jonathan? No? So there were just three of us. So we had the full Trevor experience. Just three of us. And he dedicated that whole first 1.5 hour double lesson to taking the piss out of my ferret cage. His metaphorical destruction of this ferret cage was so funny that I swear to God, this is true. I didn't get married till 30 years later. My best man at my wedding based his entire speech on Trevor's assassination of that ferret cage.
I'm sure it was very good in record.
No, it was a So I was there actually. I had the privilege to be there when Andrew Stook arrived for the first time at Sherborne School for his. It was when he hadn't quite got the job, and he arrived in a sort of very boring grey suit, and he seemed like this very sort of slight figure who was serious.
Sorry.
He had sort of quite a lot of curly hair, but apart from that, there was nothing to suggest that this was somebody who was extraordinary. I was also there on his first day at Sherborne, and he chose to come to his first day. I swear this is true, Spencer, you might remember it. He came in a tartan miniskirt. And Trevor had, made a decision to hire this person to be his sidekick, and you could see Trevor was a little bit taken aback. He was like, I wanted someone a bit crazy, but this guy's out crazying me on his first day.
He had blue tights on.
He had blue tights. But Trevor had his moment, because he felt like he was being, it was like a game of poker, and Andrew had just pulled out a full house. But he saw the bursar approaching the school with some parents. And he thought, I can't possibly let parents see a male art teacher wearing a mini skirt and blue top. So he said to me, Spencer and Jonathan Ward, boys, I want you to make a citizen's arrest and lock him in the art supply cupboard now! Which we did, and it was a totally successful operation. But, so I just want to give a little example of how Trevor taught and why he was so powerful. He was somebody who you wanted to please, you wanted to sort of gain his admiration, but it was really hard. It was almost impossible to get a compliment from him, and that was a very good preparation for the world, because it is actually very hard to succeed in the world. It's very hard to achieve in the arts, probably harder than any other area of life. But he taught by inspiring us with the example, not just of paintings and sculptures, but of the artists themselves. And he showed us how great artists, there's no real line that you can draw between their work and themselves. They are their work of art, and their commitment is total, and they are their work of art. So, it's about learning about how they committed to it. All I wanted to do at Sherborne was chase girls and drink wine. That was my only interest. And I read my diaries recently, and it's quite embarrassing because every page is, I've managed to secure 2 bottles of wine for Saturday, and I've met an old Sherbornian who's agreed to get me a 3rd bottle if I meet him on some street. It's all, I don't know why I thought that was going to be like good stuff to put in a diary. And then it's all about the girls I was chasing. But occasionally there's also a bit about a drawing that I'd done, or a painting. So he managed to make drawing and painting as exciting as these other things that I was obsessed with. But all I really wanted to do was to take Lucy Meservey out into the fields near Sherborne Castle with wine and get drunk, and that was it. And on one occasion, Trevor saw me coming back from one of these drunken episodes in the fields with this girl. And he was angry with me, and I could see that. And when I got into the school on the Monday, for the double art lesson, I knew the whole of the lesson was going to be about me being drunk in the field, and I expected that. But what it emerged was he wasn't angry that I'd got drunk in a field with Lucy Meservey. He wasn't angry that I'd drunk wine. He was angry that I wasn't like Gustave Courbet, who would have gone into a field with 7 bottles of wine, 8 girls, would have drunk the lot, had sex with everyone, and then would have gone home and painted a brilliant painting!
Well, that's true.
And he inspired me, and I painted a picture, which was actually influenced more by Chagall, and it was a picture of myself and Lucy Meservey floating in ecstasy over Sherborne. And it's such a brilliant painting that the sister from the sand stole it, and it hung in the sand for 20 years, where it revived boys who become unconscious and had their stomachs pumped from vodka. And it was then stolen again by the same team who stole Edvard Munch's The Scream. It's a masterpiece, and if you ever see it, please get it back, because I want it. But just to end on something to talk about a proper artist, Justin Anderson, we were trying to